I recently visited a theme park in Germany, and this is where I found the scariest roller coaster in the world. And well, the theme park I'm talking about is called Hansa Park, located in the northern regions in Germany. And they are home to this very scary, bizarre, creepy and majestic looking roller coaster. The scariest part of this ride is kept a secret from the public, and that happens inside this 79-meter tall tower, and that is 259 feet. This creepy looking roller coaster is called Schwur's kärnan, and that means the oath of kärnan translated to English. And the manufacturer behind this roller coaster is also German, and their name is Scariest. And I can tell you this much, this is by far the biggest, baddest and best roller coaster Scariest has ever made around the world. And it is really what happens inside this tower that makes this roller coaster the scariest thing I've ever tried. And as I've said before, this ride experience indoors is kept a secret from the public, and I will spoil the secrets inside this tower, but that is also a spoiler warning, so beware, that will happen later in the video. And well, inside this tower you have a 73-meter tall roller coaster, and that is 239 feet tall. And well, we do know this roller coaster has a 67-meter tall drop, and that is 220 feet. But this drop is quite exceptional. This is a twisted yet vertical drop that flies outside of the tower, and that makes it one of the best roller coaster drops in the whole world. And when you fly outside, the roller coaster has a very lengthy track layout coming in at 1,235 meters, and that is 4,052 feet in length. And well, I can tell you this much, the roller coaster track outside is also very intense. And that's because Schwur's kärnan hits a maximum speed of 127 kilometers per hour, and that is 79 miles per hour. Just a fun fact, Schwur's kärnan ties with another roller coaster for being the tallest in Germany. And that also makes it one of the tallest roller coasters in Europe. And now I think we have made it to that point in the video where I'm finally gonna talk about the complete ride experience and tell you all about the hidden secrets of this roller coaster. And well, apart from being a very scary roller coaster, Schwur's kärnan really has it all. This roller coaster is a great combination of immersive theming and a thrill ride experience. And before boarding this roller coaster, you go through a heavily themed queue line that tells a story about the roller coaster experience. And well, shortly described, you have this king called King Eric, and he swore to protect this fortress/tower. This king swore to protect the castle, and then he casted a spell that left pieces of his soul to remain in this tower. And that means us, the riders, are unwanted visitors in this tower. And this queue line is just amazing because it is heavily themed and filled with awesome effects before boarding the roller coaster. And now it's time to spoil the secrets inside this tower, so please beware. The roller coaster trains on Schwur's kärnan are 4 rows of 4 people. And in terms of safety, the riders are secured with a lap bar. And that means the riders have a lot of freedom in terms of movement in these seats. Kärnan slowly turns to the left, you go down a small drop, and then you turn sharply to the left yet again. And now you're in a quite dark room, and this is where the only thing in front of you can see is a vertical lift hill. And this is where you can hear the audio of an old medieval bridge going down/going up. And now the riders slowly start to climb the over 200 feet tall vertical lift hill on this scary coaster. And because of the small lap bars, it feels like you're going to fly out. And once you reach the top, the soul of the evil king appears, and he's quite unhappy. And after he has spoken a bit, he aggressively starts to shout. And this is where the riders get dropped down the vertical lift hill like a freefall element. And this might be one of the creepiest moments on this roller coaster because you won't even expect it. Once you hit the bottom yet again, the music intensifies, and then you go up the lift hill yet again. But then at the top you finally hit the crest, and this is where you go down the amazing twisted vertical drop and then outside. This drop features a great combination of lateral g-forces and a cool airtime moment. Then kärnan flies outside and up into the very bizarre element called the non-inverting sea serpent roll. And at both tops of this element, the riders can experience a strong airtime moment. This is where kärnan quickly flies into a strong overbank turn and quickly whips you to the left. This moment is so strong that your whole body leaves your seat for a moment. This is where kärnan with great speed flies low to the ground through a very large bank right turn. Kärnan continues with awesome speed going through this small zigzag moment and yet another turn to the right. This is where the riders then experience one of the best airtime moments on the ride, a low to the ground bunny hill. Then kärnan kärnan turns to the left and the rest of the layout is a bit slower than the first section. Kärnan slowly goes through a small turn to the right and then to the left, but then the roller coaster finishes off strong with yet another awesome airtime hill. This is where the riders hit the brake button, but when you go inside you're not quite done yet, because then you got a very slow hang time filled roll, and this is where it really feels like you're gonna fall out. That slow paced inversion in the end might be one of the most hang time filled inversions on the roller coaster. The coaster yet again goes into the darkness, turns to the right and goes into the brake run. But beware, this is where you got time to hit that on-ride photo. And now we've finally gone through the whole ride experience on Schwur's kärnan. The only negative thing I can say about Schwur's kärnan is actually that the roller coaster train is quite shaky. And well, if you sit on the wing seats of this roller coaster, I think the rattle is a bit intensified compared to the middle seats. And well, I think the front row is the best for this roller coaster. And well, you can't really pick your row, but this is where you got this awesome pre-show that chooses your row. I would overall say that Schwur's kärnan really is a one-of-a-kind roller coaster experience. This tall vertical lift hill indoors is one of the creepiest parts of any roller coaster I've ever tried. And after that you got a world-class roller coaster layout with awesome airtime moments, intense speed and great whip. The only thing that drags this ride experience a bit down is actually the rattle on the roller coaster, but that only intensifies the coaster experience. And that's why I'm gonna give Schwur's kärnan a 9.5 out of 10. This roller coaster is really a unique ride experience. You can't really experience this type of roller coaster anywhere else in the world. And well, you can't really find any other roller coaster that features a 200 feet plus tall vertical lift hill. I would highly recommend that you Google Schwur's kärnan lights on vertical lift hill and see that crazy picture. And now we've finally reached the end of this video. If you really like roller coaster or theme park videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. And at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say bye bye.